Showtime. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 18th episode of the Diversey BW Hotelier GM Show series. We're well into the third season and into the sixth week already. And today, I get into God's own country, Kerala. Kerala needs no introduction. Kerala is amongst the top few locations across the world which is on all wannabe travelers' bucket list, along with Goa. And what is central to Kerala is Ayurveda, culture, and excellence. Like they say, hospitality in God's own country. So let me begin this show with some of the finest general management talent that our country has to afford. And with a brief introduction. As tourism thrives in this enchanting region, Kerala continues to set benchmarks in the hospitality space, blending world-class service with traditional values and wellness. And like I said, joining us today to share their insights are some of the most seasoned hospitality leaders who've championed this cultural renaissance. And today we are very fortunate to have with us the most distinguished Lalith Viswakumar, who's the Area Director of Operations and the General Manager at the Taj Malabar Resorts and Spa in Kochi. He will moderate the session. Welcome to the show, Lalith.
Thank you, Bhuvanesh. Lovely to be here, and thank you for having me on the show.
Pleasure. The pleasure's ours. This is our first show together. And
Indeed
with
it
your
is.
permission, I'll get introducing all the speakers on the show. Rajesh Ramdas is the first one in. He's the General Manager of the Grand Hyatt Kochi Bolgatty. Welcome to the show, Rajesh.
Good evening, Mr. Khanna. Thank you for having the Kochi Warriors over this time.
Oh, absolutely, the Kochi Warriors. Next one is Suresh Khanna. He's the General Manager of the Taj Cochin International Airport, and he's barely opened a brand new property. He shall tell you more about that. Welcome to the show, Suresh.
Mr. Khanna, it's a pleasure to be on your show, and thank you.
The pleasure is ours, Sachin. Suresh, thank you so much. Next in is the old Kochi hand, Dinesh Rai. He's been here the longest amongst all of us here. He's the General Manager of the Crowne Plaza in Kochi. Welcome to the show, Dinesh.
Great to be here once again. And then I'm glad to be part of this Kochi Warriors, as Rajesh just mentioned.
Oh, absolutely. I think we should rechristen the show Kochi Warriors.
Yes.
All right.
Maybe the football says Kerala Blasters. I think that should be the word.
All right. So Sachin Malhotra is the next general manager in. He heads the Kochi Marriott Hotel. Welcome to the show, Sachin.
Namaskar, Mr. Khanna, from the God's own country. Looking forward to an interesting session.
Welcome to the show, Sachin. Last but not the least, Fino Babu. He's the general manager of the Holiday Inn Kochi.
Thank you so much, Mr. Khanna. It's great to be here, back again. Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you for being back again. Now, Lalith is got his hands all over the IHCL business in Kerala. And while he is the general manager of the Taj Malabar, he is the area director, and he lords over a whole lot of assets. And Taj has a very strong portfolio. IHCL has a very strong portfolio.
Good evening,
Sachin, you'll have to.
I am on a video call, sir. Can I call you back?
Hang on one moment.
Till 1 hour, I'll call you.
Sachin, take no calls and don't switch off your camera because the sequence goes. All right. So like I said, Lalith is lording over the entire IHCL business and all the assets that are there. And who better than him to ask some searching questions? And let me begin with my first one with Lalith. Lalith, Kerala is widely regarded as a destination for wellness and tourism. How do you see Ayurveda evolving as a competitive edge for the hospitality industry in the region? And not just that, Ayurveda is perhaps the biggest export out from Kerala to the entire world.
Thank you for that, Bhuvanesh. It's an interesting question that you've asked. I think Ayurveda and Kerala are synonymous. Kerala reached new heights in terms of branding in the tourism field with the caption of God's own country. And as significant as that punchline or that catchline goes, Ayurveda came synonymous, dovetailing into this campaign. So Ayurveda is, I think, by statistics, the fifth largest import, if I may use that word, of inbound tourists into the state. And that's the reason why people come into Kerala. So it has a very significant space as far as tourism is concerned. There are different formats of Ayurveda, which I'm sure we'll explore during the course of this journey together in the next half hour or 45 minutes together with all the warriors of Kerala. But it has a very, very significant place, and happy to take that forward as we go along today.
And also not just Ayurveda, wellness as an overall property is so synonymous and natural to Kerala.
It is. And wellness is, again, there are two aspects to it. One, which is the systemic wellness, which is coming in from the origins of Ayurveda. And the second part of it is the tourist aspect of wellness, where people are coming in for treatments in different centers, which are accredited and otherwise. So I think across the state from north to south, there are lots of opportunities for both sides of the table. One for guests who are coming in, as well as hoteliers like us, to showcase Kerala at its best. So definitely wellness is a significant part of the journey.
Great. So this is your show. Let me not stand between you and your speakers. So I'll hand over the reins to you. Over to you.
Thank you. And happy to take this forward with the first warrior, if I may use that parlance, because that's what seems to be the theme of today's Kerala Blasters. So Rajesh, with the wonderful backdrop of the Grand Hyatt and almost the rest of Kerala behind you, from talking to you from across the waters, I have a question for you. How does the Grand Hyatt blend luxury with the unique cultural and natural beauty of Kochi?
Grand Hyatt, as you know, is located on 26 acres of land on Bolgatty Island. It's an urban resort. We'd like to call it that way. Just a bridge away from the city. So with unique ability of being able to transport guests through water, through helicopters, and of course by land. Now, how do we blend luxury culture and the beauty of the land? Is that we've got the old world charm that is in the state and the culture, which we blend with the modern amenities that we have within. So what we try and do is that we bring the essence of Kerala into the building. And how do we do this? We've of course, we've got the traditional welcome that we do for groups with the Chandamelam. Chandamelam is the drums, So when a group comes in, we've got the Chandamelam up on display in the lobby area. Then we have many art forms that are also presented during the welcome, like Pulikkali. This is the tiger. People dress up as tiger, and they have that show that happens. Other than this, we also have the Vembanad and the waterways in and around it. So as you come to the hotel, you get the very essence of Kerala in and around, because there's water all around the building, because it's an island. Traditional houseboats, that is one part that tourists always want to come and experience. So we've got two boats, one being the conference boat, one is a 2-bedroom boat. So we do cruises all along. We have guests who come and stay in these boats. Conference boat is very unique because everyone's used to doing conference in buildings, closed. So what we offer is that they can have a conference or a boardroom meeting for about 60 people in the conference board in between the Vembanad Lake. So that is extremely unique, and it brings that essence of Kerala in as well. During season, we have live cultural performances that we do in the evening. So, every art form that you can possibly think of in that 15, 20 days, we have on display for an hour. And then we have the Chaya Kada, which is your traditional tea coffee shop with snacks that's put up in a very rustic way. We don't do it very modern because we believe guests should experience that firsthand. We stick to very authentic cuisine in Malabar. Now, the city is known to have a lot of restaurants which serve Kerala cuisine all through, but we still do Malabar cuisine in our restaurant, and we try and keep it as authentic as possible. For groups, what we do is that there is a snake boat race that happens with groups. It also happens for destination weddings. So the boys' guy side and the girls' side compete with each other in two separate boats. So that brings out a lot of cheer and memories for guests, because they've not experienced anything as close as having to compete on a boat. Then, of course, we have the sadhya, which is the meal, the sadhya meal. Of course, everyone in Kerala is used to it, but when they see the sequence of events that happen when the sadhya is laid out, it's very enthralling for guests, because they're not used to the number of dishes that are put up there, as well as the large number of people that we cater to at one go. For example, I remember we had done about 3,000 people in one go at one shot. It's quite a logistic thing to pull up, but these are the sort of memories that we live for guests, so that they remember the Kerala part when they come to a destination like ours.
No, absolutely. And I think you couldn't have articulated that better. And I think all of us on this call and those who are watching us would completely resonate with the fact that the Grand Hyatt added to the inventory in this city and in this state to truly make it a sort of a place where we can have larger destination events that happen. And I think thereby it's extremely important, the role that is being played by you, and whether it is Ayurveda, whether it's wellness, or just in the format of tourism. I think truly some of the things that you all do is exemplary. So thank you for sharing that, Rajesh.
Thank you.
Okay, so we move ahead and I have another question. And if I may take that across to Suresh this time. So Suresh, if I can ask you, with the newest kid on the block, if I may call your hotel that, how do you cater to the diverse preferences of international travelers at an airport property?
Thank you, Lalith. I think it's a very apt question. And now that we've been here for about 5 weeks, I must tell you that we should see a diverse section of rather guests coming in, right from CXOs, and we have people coming in, guests coming from the Middle East. We've had guests coming as crews, and then we've had people coming in as medical tourism, lady guests, a bit of tourists also, so on and so forth. And all this has happened about the last 4.5, 5. I think from the pre-opening time, what we've thought is that, typically how our airport hotels in other cities kept functioning, it's more of a transit. And when we talk about the transit, we're talking about an average length of stay, which is about maybe 1 night or a little more than that. And what does one need in a night time, We've also seen some families traveling in, relocating abroad or coming from abroad, NRIs coming back and then, meeting their families and things like that. The most important fact, I think, for an airport hotel, of course, would be, first and foremost would be the cultural sensitivity, So when we have people coming in from, say, from the Arabic land, and we have people coming in, from across the country, then you have the people coming from Western, maybe a little bit of Europe and things like that. I think our concierge and the front desk needs to be up and running in the sense that they understand their culture. And that's what we, started doing, understanding their bit of a culture and trying to suit each needs. So training the staff on, of course, the global hospitality etiquette, what suits for me probably doesn't suit for somebody who's coming in from another part of the world. So that is one important aspect that we looked at. And culinary excellence, for example, while we are very strong with the Indian, cuisine, north and south and things like that, airport hotels, typically you need to look at, how you can get maybe a Pan-Asian, maybe a Middle Eastern, maybe a modern European, and things like that. And taking it a little further away, you also need to look at how you can customize. For example, is it a halal? Obviously, is it a Jain food, a gluten-free meal, and even a kosher meal, maybe, when Jews are traveling and things like that. So that's something which is very important aspect. We've also seen that, sometimes we have pilots coming and staying with us and crew staying with us. So what is their requirement? A peaceful sleep, and of course, a quick service of a meal. In-room dining. So in-room dining is another aspect. And we saw a huge opportunity there because if somebody's taken a flight, say 8 hours or 9 hours, and they come in and they really don't want to go down to our restaurant and, dine there. So they are looking to, looking to have a quick meal in the facilities of the room. So that in-room dining experience, how do we take this up to the next level? So that in-room dining experience is another important aspect that, an airport hotel should definitely look into. So offering various cuisines through the in-room dining also. Technology is something which, it cannot be taken away from all of us because whether you're traveling or not, even at home, we're all tech-enabled. So multiple things. So are we looking at smart room controls? That is one thing which, if we as guests travel to many hotels, in the past, I think it's got better in the last decade or so in many of the hotels, that, the controls in the rooms are normally a little confusion, you try and switch off one and something else is on. So getting that right, in the end of it, you need to have a peaceful sleep without any light coming in and things like that. That is one. And obviously, if your mobile app can work, to get your OTTs and the right Wi-Fi, and, if you can download your bandwidth and stuff like that, these are most important things. We've also seen, like, for example, if somebody is relocating abroad and if they're traveling from within Kerala and then going to their children's home and things like that, a whole lot of baggage, 6, 7, 8 large bags and a whole lot of things. So that also becomes what we call a painstaking point for the guest, because for him and her, it's important that, the baggage is taken care of, and where do they keep it? So do we have concierge? Do we have proper bell desk? Do we have proper things? So that itself becomes another important aspect, for travelers who are moving out. The next, of course, most important thing is offering a world-class spa, with the J Wellness Center introduced at the Taj Kochi Airport. We've seen that a lot of our guests, they come in and they walk into the spa and they just want to relax because obviously, after flying for about 8 hours, 10 hours, or 12 hours, they're looking at, getting some kind of a relaxation before they move on to their next meetings or, catching with their family and things like that. Now, these are, of course, provided by many, many hotels. But what happens in an airport hotel is all this happens at the same time or at any given day. You could have somebody who's coming for, to get treated at one of the hospitals, medical tourism. So what you need to do for them, obviously, we need to, first and foremost, is custom-made food for them. And then, of course, trying to get them across through the, local vicinities and, their local shoppings and getting to their hospitals and back. And obviously, of course, the transport, the kind of transport that is tailor-made for them, large cars or luxury vehicles or even regular SUVs and things like that. So you need to have a mix of all these things for each of these travelers. Like I'm repeating that in an airport hotel, you see all this happening at one day. Like in any other hotel, you probably have somebody on a medical tourism one occasion, you probably have, a crew on one occasion and things like that. But these would be the challenges. Another important aspect, what we are looking at here at the Taj Cochin is the business jet launch. And we've already done a couple of catering there to some of the CXOs and who obviously come in their, private jets and things like that. That apart, exclusive shopping inside, and at IHL we have the Khazana stores. These are premium retailing stores, which is of course very important, and a lot of guests do ask for details like, I mean, if they want to gift and if they want to get some maybe some hyper local stuff sometimes, or even something out of the country, which they can take back to their countries, because if they've not had the kind of time for shopping after coming in for a business meet and things like that, and just before they leave, if they want to pick up something, so these kazanas, the retails work out really well for that.
No, I think some very, very valid points there, Suresh, and
Yep.
I think some very interesting insights, because from an airport hotel perspective, I think all of the rest of us on the call, we're not as close to the airport as you are, and the entire paradigm of what you operate is slightly different from what we do. You have what we all operate, but you also have something different which we all don't have. So I think very well encapsulated, and I'll take a leaf out of that and turn to Dinesh, if I may. And Dinesh, I have a question for you, and would be interesting to have your insights on this. So my question to you is, with Kochi emerging as a business hub, how is Crowne Plaza balancing business and leisure guest expectations? That's my question to you. So over to you, Dinesh.
Perfect. Thanks, Lalith. I think this probably would have been an ideal question for us. And Crowne Plaza was built with this, I think, the thought process in mind to cater to a leisure traveler, which is like, business as well as leisure. So we have this specific hotel itself is spread in all about 6 acres of land, and then we have everything that can be encapsulated within the hotel for either a guest traveling on a business, or if he's coming in for leisure. As we understand, Kochi definitely is transforming into a great business hub, whether it is fishing, whether it is shipping, or whether it is IT. So there is a tremendous amount of growth that we see, and then a lot of travelers, and predominantly, as we mentioned, this has become one preferred destination for a lot of people to come on for MICE destination, and specifically thanks to Grand Hyatt and our own Le Méridien, which is right across to my hotel, which helps me in a big way to get these travelers to come in. I always say that Le Méridien has always complimented me in this case to have about 500 hotel rooms in about 25 acres of land between us and Le Méridien put together. So anyways, what our hotel has always been provided, I think I want to break it into two different this thing, because I've always seen, I would rather the traveler has changed over a period of time. In fact, although this hotel was anyways meant for business and leisure, the traveler actually has changed post-pandemic. It is called, today's world, the traveler is called as a blended traveler. They predominantly, what is a blended traveler? They like work and leisure fusion. So they would want to take more time out after their after their work, and then spend some time while they are here in the hotel, or while they are actually having their extended stay or coming in and everything. They also wanted to take their better half of friends along and come, take their besties. It's like bring your besties to the along while you're in the conference. Anyways, you're alone. By the evening, you're with your friend is enjoying. Now, this comes not only with great thing, this comes with challenges, right? Now, our hotel, I'll brief you about what we already have. So we have we have 2 swimming pools, which caters to a MICE destination, as well as person who wanted to individually travel has to have his private moment. And also this hotel has 2 different swimming pools. So that can easily segregate to cater to these 2 people. So that all the type of guests are being taken care of. Apart from that, we have a 25,000 square feet of a spa and wellness space. Now that is something which is again Ayurveda as well as aromatherapy. So we blend both of it together. We have special training. We created an app for called wherein we identify the person's health, and based on that a treatment is given. We call it like Prakriti and Prakriti Pariksha and Dosha Pariksha. In fact, that is what we call it. And based on that is when the treatment has been given. So we have qualified doctors, regular meditation exercises that we are actually been doing in the spa treatment. Apart from that, the challenges that we have posed, we felt that there has to be something more within the hotel. We wanted to ensure that we capture as much as guests who stay in the hotel to stay back. So we renovated our Sky Grill restaurant, which fortunately is doing really phenomenal, got multiple awards also. So we changed the concept from a discotheque to a place which has great music, great paired with great cocktail, as well as amazing view from that space. And this caters to everyone, whether family comes in, whether an individual comes in, whether a child comes in, it caters to that. We changed the restaurant on the ground floor, we named it Zoka, and it's a complete amazing Pan Asian restaurant, which is kind of state of the art now, and then earning amazing amount of revenue for us. The challenge that I said, which what we posed in, is having leisure guests. They don't get up from your morning breakfast, which is the biggest trouble for all of our business travelers. So an earlier 85 cover restaurant has to be which was probably enough for a business traveler. But now I feel that has to be extended. So we extended that, and I think Grand Hyatt also felt that, and they probably extended. So we have extended it to almost 200 covers. As we speak, tomorrow we are launching this restaurant again. So apart from that, yes, and something really good. So we had the space, so we made the utilization of the space. In fact, we felt it's very, very important to have a really hybrid kind of an atmosphere here. So we added one of the largest. In fact, we have about 90 inch of interactive TV at our meeting space to ensure that we have a great quality meetings happen. We renovated our banquet spaces and all. And apart from that, we have, as Rajesh mentioned, we also enjoy the backwaters. I think, as all of us, most of the hotels over here enjoy the same Vembanad lake that comes all over from Alleppey to our place, the second largest.
If I can interrupt you there, we're all warring over the same Vembanad lake.
Yeah, warring over the same Vembanad. I guess, yes. I think, yes, and amazing. And some of them gets a great view, like you as well as Rajesh. And I get a great share. So fortunately, I also do snake boat race as well as the boating. We enjoy the mangroves, which over here for all our guests, we take them through the mangroves. We do some kayaking and everything for them. So it is basically kind of a hybrid version, I would rather say, for a guest who comes as a blended traveler, and really with a thought process of ensuring that a person who comes into Kerala doesn't have to just come for a meeting, has to spend another couple of days to explore Kochi and the places around, because Kochi definitely has a lot of things to do. We are in a place where it is surrounded by lot of surprises. So I think that is something that I want to quickly sum up and mention about what we are here to offer. And
thank you. I think, Dinesh, that is very comprehensive, and I think so far we've gone through 3 absolutely different, if I may say, segments of war within the same city. So we've got...
if I may interrupt just a moment.
Sure, Rajesh.
Something that we share in common and the others don't, even if they have the Vembanad, is that we can look at each other on a daily basis, take a note.
Oh, yes. Oh, you and Lalith, you're talking about. Oh, yes. I think you need a binoculars quickly to look at each other.
That's true. But then, hey, we've got eyes where you guys don't know it. So we're all looking at each other in our own ways. But no, very valid point, and you're right. And Dinesh, thank you for encapsulating that so well. I think it's interesting to see what now Sachin can bring to the table, because so much has been said, yet Sachin with the Marriott label behind him and that tall building standing in the background. I have a question for you, Sachin. How does Kochi Marriott create curated experience for travelers who seek authentic local engagement?
Lalith, thank you for the question, and then I think you have saved the best one for me. Because Kochi is actually a gateway to a lot of getaways. With Munnar, Alleppey, Palakkad, Calicut, Kumarkom, everyone having such unique, I would say, natural advantages to them. How does Kochi and a hotel in the heart of Kochi create an experience that remains with the guest as an authentic experience? So when, as a team, we sat down, we realized that there were majorly 4 pillars. on which that authentic experience and the memorable experience lies. The first, obviously, is the local cuisine. So, Sadhya, like my friend Rajesh also mentioned, it's called the God's Feast. Now, Sadhya is usually done during the time of Onam and some few festivals. So, we took a leap of it and we started Ilai Unu. Ilai Unu basically means eating from a plantain banana leaf. So, that's served 365 days in our Kasava restaurant. So, whenever you come in, irrespective of whether it's Onam or not there, you can experience the local flavors and the most authentic form of eating on a banana leaf with the assurance and safety and hygiene of a Marriott standard. So that kinds of works for us in terms of addressing the first pillar. Apart from that, the second most pillar, what we thought was how do we locally connect the people? Because local authentic experience don't get covered into a room box or into a well-guarded hotel, secure rooms and places. So we unfortunately don't have the lake view with us. So what we do is when you can't get the lake to you, you go to the lake. So we in fact added another feature which is very unique to Kochi. Kochi is the only city in the country where you have a water metro. And that's kind of a unique experience. So, and our location is, we are very close to the metro. So we have started to create a program for the guests where we organize tickets for them and then they can use the local metro from the hotel, go to Ernakulam and from there board the water metro towards the Fort Kochi. Fort Kochi is again extremely unique part of Kochi where you have Dutch settlement, Dutch architecture, the beautiful lake. So, and some beautiful cafes also to go around. So that actually takes a lot away from the hotel where a guest can carry local interactions. They go and sit on the local trains with the people. They walk on the beach with the people. They experience the water metro and they can click some beautiful photographs of families and the local experience and take it away. The third is obviously architecture. So Matancherry and Fort Kochi architecture, which is kind of very unique Dutch settlement architecture, also gets connected through water metro for them and then they have an experience. And the fourth most important is mementos that they carry back home as memories. So the hotel is just 10 minutes walk from a spice board. So we do encourage our people to go to the spice board, which obviously is government controlled and government managed. So you are quality assured as well as your price parity. So that ensures not only authentic experience, good quality experience, but and wholesome experience that you can carry along with memory. So you have something to take along, you have some photographs also, you've tasted the food. And our unique location also offers one unique trump card to us, which is convenience. We are right next to Lulu Mall, the oldest Lulu Mall in the country. And in case while packing, you realize that you missed something or you are in need of something, convenience takes over the experience and then you can get it as quick as possible and then you don't miss it through the entire trip. So in totality, taking cuisine, the local experience, the local connect of the people and the mementos, we are able to create a unique experience which most of the guests either enjoy it while they are coming to Kochi because Kochi is a gateway. From Kochi, they usually start their trip or they end it at Kochi. So yes, start of the trip or end of the trip, we ensure that they have an experience and then a wholesome 360-degree experience.
No, very, very, very well articulated and very poignant what you said, Sachin. And on a lighter note, before I get to Fino, if you were to think of Suresh not being part of the equation, and Suresh, when I say Suresh, I'm talking about his hotel coming in now. Basically, what you've done is when anybody comes up to Lulu Mall and your hotel, you made sure they don't go in the direction of Dinesh or Fino. Avoid Rajesh and my hotel and take them straight through by boat, straight to Fort Cochin, get them to come back, pack whatever they want to Lulu Mall and send them out of the city. So in the interest of the war in Cochin, I think it's very well thought out as a strategy. No, but having said that, that was just on a lighter note. But thank you for that, Sachin. And now moving on to Fino and the quietest and the last in line of questions, but the one with the highest occupancies in the city, if I may say that. Fino, I have a question for you. Cochin has become a key business and leisure destination in Kerala. How do you tailor your operations to meet the distinct needs of both corporate and leisure guests while maintaining Holiday Inn's brand promise?
Thank you so much, Lalith. With leisure being the in word, I don't know, do we need to separate it anymore, or how long we'll be able to separate between the business and the leisure travelers? But I'm sure you will, and all of the panelists will agree on one point, that both of them, they look for two things, which is experiences and probably the culture and hospitality. So I think that's where we are scoring it. That's what we provide, or that's what the brand promises as a Holiday Inn. As Sachin said, I also don't share probably the webinar link as a backdrop of the hotel. But there is one thing which I can proudly say, that I share equal distance to both the hotels, or all the three hotels, which is Crowne Plaza, Marriott, even Hyatt, because of my location. So whenever there is a larger event, whenever Rajesh bring those big conferences to the city, I get a good share of it. And that's what probably the occupancy which you're mentioning to it. Thanks to the location, it's been 14 years in the city as a Holiday Inn. And if you ask anybody in the city, they will say that it's a meeting place of Kochi. Those who wanted to have a short meeting, they want to have a discussion, they know where to go. And if you come to our lobby cafe, Delicacy, it will be very difficult to find a seat during any time of the day, because you will find some or other discussion happening over there. It may be a movie script reading, it can be a business deal which is getting finalized. So it is a hotel which locals love. They love to come, and we would like to keep it that way, because I think that's what made us popular in the city. That's what the locals love about the hotel, which is the hospitality, the culture, and the vibrancy of the hotel. When it comes to a corporate travel, like any of the hotels, you are managing, we focus on efficiency. We focus on technology. IG Connect, which gives seamless Wi-Fi connections. The rooms which has been aesthetically designed for the corporate travelers. Now, I would rather more focus on the leisure travelers, because the hotel was not made for that. It was a city hotel, it was a business hotel. Then we see the opportunity of leisure travelers increasing probably day by day. Medical tourism has increased a lot. A lot of guests who comes and stay for longer durations for medical tourism. There are people who comes for wellness. I personally know a guest who comes on every month, because I just done her booking for this month end, who stays for 20-25 days just to be in the city. She even travels. So for them, it was a challenge for us, because the hotel was not made for that. Then we started adding up more and more amenities to the hotel.
You can always send them to any one of our other hotels. That's not a problem. Sorry, man.
Hey, I've got a 25,000 square feet. Yeah, you can just help me fill that.
Lalith,
This is
you know
where the
why I
survival
said
comes
warriors?
up.
You know why I said warriors now.
Everyone is showing the true colors of their warrior.
I
Absolutely.
swear.
But,
This is where the survival
but in
comes.
the spirit of Kerala, the spirit of the Kerala warriors, the competitive friends that we are, back to you, Fino.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where, I thought the survival comes. If I don't act now, then it will be too late. So we added up a state-of-the-art spa in our facility. Probably will be opening it by end of this month. We added a poolside restaurant. We created a small curated travel package for our guests who are staying. I don't know how many of them, they come to the city, and mostly where they go to Adirapalli, they go to Alapi, they go to other popular destinations. Now, if you ask a traveler, have you been to Kadamakudi? I don't know. Some of them maybe, some of them may not be. So we created those small pockets, which is not very popular, and we created a travel package for our leisure guests. Most of them, they enjoy it. So all in all, I believe the location helps us. The restaurants and the buzzing street in front of the hotel, which helps us, because there are a lot of guests. Yes, the hotel have 5 F&B outlets, and we provide from Italian to Japanese to Indian, all the cuisines. But still, there are guests who crave for some local delicacies in the street food. So for them, it is a great advantage. They can just step out and they will see maybe 20 restaurants in the same line. I would say that this is a hotel becoming a hot destination for both, which is leisure as well as business.
Fantastic. Thank you.
So that brings us to the intermission. I'll take 30 seconds, Lalith, with your permission, and then
Yes.
circle back to you.
Please.
Thank you, Diversey. Thank you for supporting the industry by getting the show across to all corners of the country, in fact, of the subcontinent. And we also have viewers who are connecting with us from other parts of the world. So good work, and thank you for your hand. Means a lot. Lalith, now let me just come back to you. You know, we've had a wonderful first half, light moments, but going ahead, we'll try and do every response within 2.5 minutes. All right, so that goes for all the speakers. So tell me, you know, Kerala has a natural magnet which attracts travelers of all hues. But they, you know, and how do you think Kerala can continue to innovate while staying true to its cultural heritage in hospitality offerings? You know, in the first part, we spoke about everything, but we also did not touch about the spiritual and pilgrimage hooks that the state has, be it Shabrimala or be it Guruvayur or be it the various other locations. You are the best person in place to respond.
So, a very interesting question. You're right. We didn't touch upon those hooks. But I think Kerala as a state is very diverse in its culture. From the north to the south of Kerala, you go through so many different cultural nuances, whether it's in food, whether it is in attire, whether it is in basic behavioral patterns of people, lifestyle, ocean, beaches, mountains, and villages and cities in between. So there is a lot that Kerala has to offer in terms of innovation. I think Kerala has always been a pioneer when it comes to how the state has promoted itself and how within the state tourism has been embraced. Anyone who lands in whether it's Cochin Airport, Trivandrum Airport, Calicut Airport is always met with a sense of hospitality. And that is coupled with very genuine sense of pride in what the state upholds. So whether it is in the attire that someone wears, whether it is in the way that someone showcases the state from one destination to another with the nuances that come between destinations. I think as a state, whether it is in the format of marketing being innovative or entrepreneurs being innovative, along with the fact that even the government is so proactive in making sure that whether it's homestays, whether it's small institutions, that everybody is geared towards tourism. I think there is a lot that is there in terms of potential as far as innovation in hospitality is concerned, whether it is religious, like you said, in religious tourism in Guruvayur and Thrissur and other places, or whether it is purely from a Ayurveda / absolutely letting your hair down and getting in some sun, or exploring the mountains with tea. I think the state has everything to offer. So that's my simple submission to you. And that's the reason why, as a brand, as IHCL, by the end of this calendar year, that is 2025, we will have 57 entities across Kerala state from the north to the south. So we are very clear that we want to be present in all formats of tourism in the state. And that is why we've chosen Kerala as one of our largest playing fields, if you may call it that, with interest. So that's my answer and response to you, Bhuvanesh.
And somewhere we also need to bring in the aspect of food.
Absolutely.
You know,
And when it comes to food, very rightly said, there are so many different types of cuisine within Kerala, whether it's vegetarian, non-vegetarian, whether it is home-style cooking, whether it's roadside. All of it is coupled with a traveler having an immense sense of hygiene. I think Kerala as a state is a front runner in that, because people are very, very literate and aware of what civic sense is. And that percolates also into business and the way they do business. So when it's a foreign traveler who comes into the city or into the state, or even if it's a domestic traveler coming in from any other part of India, one take back that everybody tells us is how clean the place is and how one never felt uncomfortable, whether it is washrooms along the way, whether it is eating places along the way. They've always been welcomed, and the kind of cuisine that's on offer from north to south is different at every stop. So there's a lot of unity and diversity, if I may say that, within the state itself.
thank you. That's a great submission and summation. Thank you. I'll hand the show back to you.
Thank you, Bhuvanesh. Thank you very much. So I'll come back to Rajesh, and I start with you here, Rajesh. So I have another question for you. What innovative dining experiences have you introduced to capture Kerala's culinary heritage?
What we've done is we've tried to push the envelope and do something extremely different. At a point, we decided that, as rightly mentioned before, that there are different cuisines and there are different tastes, tastes in different parts of Kerala, and it's spread all through north, middle, south. So what we decided is that we'll put together a group of 7 chefs, and there was also a sort of renowned blogger who was there. We put them together as a team, and we said, you have to go up and down all the way north, Kasargod to Kanyakumari. We cover all these places, and it'll take us a good amount of time. So it was decided we don't put any sort of time limit, that it is done properly. So we sent them, and it took about 5.5 months to cover the whole state. And we were able to go into people's houses and get those old recipes which have disappeared. And other than that, we were able to go to restaurants, specific restaurants which are known in different parts, and it's there in villages as well. So we covered Malabar, we covered Travancore, we covered the high range areas and central Kerala. So 140 recipes came off it. Quite a bit of work, a lot of recording, a lot of detailing. And we've adopted about 32 of those recipes in our Malabar restaurant. So these are recipes which is from somebody's kitchen. It's passed on from generations, or these are some of the hit recipes that are used in restaurants. So we said it has to be a combination of different places, because it's not just Malabar per se, it is the entire state. So that's something that we did. Then what we also started doing is that rare root vegetables which are seasonal. For example, there's one called the purple yam, comes out in June or in December. So we started incorporating things like that into our recipes, because that's something which people have not heard about, and there is a storytelling to it. We also bring in lady chefs from Malabar, and North is known for its cuisine, so we bring lady chefs. Why lady chefs? Because when this hotel started, Malabar restaurant that is well established now was known for the lady chefs all through, and lady chefs are these are the ones who, they cook at home, they cook with the same feeling, so it's home cooked food, and we want to stay true to that. So we bring them over time and again. Other than that, of course, we've got Kerala's first professional lady master chef, Lata, who's been working with us for so many years. What is the difference that she brings? She is somebody who touches absolutely, possibly all the tables that come in for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And she's someone who sort of, recommends certain dishes, specifically makes for them, And this is not part of the menu. It is her own recipes that she's had from her grandmother. Also, when somebody falls ill, she's got all these, herbal solutions. If it's a cough, if it's a cold. So sort out people, when they come to the restaurant, they specifically ask for her. So that's something that we do. Sadhya, which I mentioned earlier, we try to perfect the art of Sadhya because people in Kerala go to multiple weddings and everybody knows their sambar to the avial. So it's very clear, either you do it properly or you don't do it at all. So what we decided is that when our guests say that we specifically are from this area and our guests are from this area, we say, okay, the sambar should be like it's made in Trivandrum or it's made in Malabar area. So that differentiation we've understood and we've incorporated. And that's the reason why people come in and do those big sadhyas, like 3,000, 3,000 guests at one point. We also do the traditional Onam sadhya. And how do we do it different is that we incorporate all those games that, long ago, people who are now of age would have played in their young age. And these are the ones that are played in villages. All those games are brought in and we do that. So their children also experience it. So it's a way of saying that, you revisit your childhood. And other than that, of course, we have cultural activities in and around. There is tug of war that happens, which is a typical Kerala game, which is played many times over the year. These are some of the things that we incorporate to make sure that cultural experience is kept alive. Outside the hotel, we also recommend, and I think like Fino mentioned, Kalamakudi is an area which is not known to a lot of people, but there are a cluster of islands which we take them to for toddy tapping sessions. So in general, this is how we bring this to life.
Thank you, Rajesh. And
I just want to ask one thing. Is Sadhya essentially vegetarian?
It is.
It
is.
And on a lighter note, in the interest of war in Kerala and how competitively friendly we are, you would have heard the number of times Rajesh used Malabar there. So,
yes.
So moving forward, next question for Suresh. Suresh, I have a question which says, what initiatives has IHL or Taj taken to incorporate sustainability and local sourcing in your operational excellence?
Lalith, this is a very vast subject, as everybody knows. What I'll do is I'll keep it quick and I'll put it in two buckets. One is, of course, what overall the organization does, and secondly, what we do at the Taj Cochin. So in 2022, IHL embarked on this program called Patya, which kind of outlined, the environmental stewardship and set goal for 2030. Patya broadly, is divided into about 6 enablers, which is one is, of course, promoting, the environmental stewardship, partnering and, transformation, progressing with sustainable growth, preserve heritage and, grand, promise social responsibility, prudent, that is the ESG part, which is very prudent corporate governance. Just to give an example on preserve heritage and brand, I think even the panelists and everybody know that we get the all associates, the lady associates, the sari, the silk sari, which they wear, I've been woven at Varanasi, and that's in a way we keep developing the people of that area, which was once a lost thing, and we revived that, and that's one of the way that we did it. These 6 enablers, keep coming in different formats to hotels. Now, for example, we have this sustainable procurement policy, which is like, sourcing out local and indigenous sourcing. Now, for example, here in Cochin, today as we speak, whether it is your fish or the seafood, of course, the seasonal ones, some of the vegetables, barring the English ones, and then we have the, what you call poultry, and then vegetables which are seasonal, and even microgreens. These are all taken into account right here, and we source it out in Kerala and in Cochin, most of it. Going forward, we also would have an opportunity where we could do this farm to fork, or farm to table, which is not very far away. I think that also can be done here in Cochin. At the hotel level, again, when you look at the engineering aspect of it, you have the heat pump, which reduction in carbon emissions, organic waste converter, which is a must. We do that, wet waste from kitchen into manure, dry waste, the pollution control board, of course, authorized vendor who's responsible to dispose them. EV chargers are a big thing now, and every hotel has got the EV charger. Water bottling plant. Every hotel of the Taj has got a water bottling plant, of course, which reduces the plastic wastage. STP water reuse, I think, of course, everybody does it, and why it's so important now, flushing and the cooling towers, etc. And how this technology has grown up over a period of, the last couple of decades. Chiller plant management, cost savings on CO2 emissions, which is another important thing. BMS, of course. This is again, for your CO2 emissions reduction. Rainwater harvesting. I'm here to get this harvesting done because I think my first set of monsoon will be sometime in June. So that's where probably I would try and add about 1.25 kl, the per water. Then we started using compostable, garbage bags. And in our rooms, guest amenities, if you look at, whether it's wooden toothbrushes, combs made of wood, even the razor handles made out of wood and things like that. For packing foods, wooden cutleries, and these are all very high quality wood, stirrers for, packing. There's again wooden stirrers, high quality paper cups and packaging materials. Now, these are just few of it. Again, talking from an organization point of view, we have something called the Earth Check, which is, for every hotel to follow and practice. Check is a globally recognized group specializing in benchmarking and certifying. Of course, also they do advisory services. The primary focus of Check lies in the environmental and science dimensions of the travel and tourism, which is very, very important, very, very critical. Today's travelers is very well read. And, it's not only traveler, all stakeholders, all our stakeholders do require this sustainability and things like that. So every year, we share these data with Check and who keep, benchmarking us against gold or, platinum and, so on and so forth. Now, their major drive is to ensure that the, sustainability and the climate change challenges in tourism destinations are, addressed. And it's kind of, it seemed to be working very well. No, before I wind up, we also have goals for 2030, which is, 100% wastewater recycled and reused. A couple of our hotels in other cities have already embarked on this journey. 50% energy from renewable sources. This is 2030 goal, and 100% hotels Earth Check certified. And of course, 100% hotels go beyond single-use plastic free. Now, having said that, many hotels are in many stages of implementing most of the thing. One important aspect, I know we have a paucity of time, which I want to share with all the panelists and the viewers is, of course, we've started something called the Sustainable Meeting Solutions. And Lalith, you would know that we've been part of this Energized Meetings, initiatives, which offers very eco-friendly event solution, ensuring that these meetings and conferences are conducted with minimal environmental impact. Of course, I can take you through this entire thing, but it's quite in a sense, time consuming. But just to touch upon that, sustainable meeting solutions for the mindful generation.
We'll have to cap this because we're already at the show end time.
Yes.
So you won't mind.
No,
thank you. Yeah, that's not a problem.
Suresh. I think a lot going on there.
Very valuable.
Yeah, a lot going on there, and I know the list is endless, and it's passion that you have. As far
maybe offline one day we could discuss all this.
Yes, sure we can.
So moving ahead to Dinesh. Coming back to you, I have a question for you, Dinesh. Since you've been in the city for a very long time, what are the emerging trends in guest preferences in Kochi's hospitality landscape?
Yeah, in fact, that's another good question that has come on my way. I think, we always talk about Kerala having its own culture, although it is there. Kerala is not only there is much to do beyond Kathakali and Ayurveda. We need to know. And Kerala, if you really look at it from every space, the first phase that comes is the Kathakali, right? And then, there are different culture forms. There is Teyyam, there is the Mohiniyatams, and there are different dance, the snake boat race. All these things are really different. And the today's traveler, he is not only looking at just one phase, and he looks at something very, very different. The blended traveler looks at something, as Lalith mentioned that how clean Kerala is. Kerala is the cleanest, I would rather say, when it comes to the way they look after the tourism. Every traveler who would come, they were surprised about no garbage that they see on the. There is a systematic approach of clearing these garbages. In fact, what Kerala also has the first water metro in the country. That is something like which Sachin touched upon, and then Lulu Mall has been the highlight of Kerala. People really do come across for that. So when it comes to the blended traveler, he also definitely looks at the way that how sustainable are we, right? So Kerala becomes one of the a cornerstone as a benchmark place for someone who's actually using sustainable tourism. And when it comes to similarly for our hotel also, uh, uh, as Suresh mentioned, that there is water bottling plant. Most of the hotels over here have gone to something like a water bottling plant, EV charging stations, and this is now need of the hour for them. In fact, the travelers predominantly look at something like CSR activity. Does the hotel have CSR activity? Do we participate? Can the guest participate in there? So we have examples of guests contributing to that and offering, TVs, computers, offering clothes and offering books across to these underprivileged schools, and coming across along with us to participate in the CSR activity. So these are something that along with the cultural heritage, they also look forward to. And the reason why, because the traveler still continues to be, the international traveler still continues to be from the Europe, and they would always look at contributing some of their money towards the CSR activity. And that is what is something that really helps us in a
Thank you. Thank you, Dinesh. I think that's very insightful.
Yeah.
And in the interest of time, I'll move ahead to Sachin.
Yes.
So on a lighter note, again, I'll start with you, Sachin. I know first you like to divert all the business away from all the other hotels. But this question which I'm posing to you is something that we're all very excited to hear from you, and something which you can be as candid as you want. And we would appreciate you being very, very candid. And the question reads as, what has been the most effective strategy for boosting occupancy rates in Kochi's competitive market? And we're open to any insights you may want to give us, Sachin. So over to you.
Lalith, thank you. And I would say occupancy is the byproduct of loyalty. That has been our mantra when we look at developing occupancies into the hotel. We have been blessed all throughout the year. We do almost 90% plus kind of occupancies. And the major reason for it, I don't know, how did I go off? Okay, sorry. So yes, like I said, loyalty, when we talk about, the first thing comes to our mind is guest loyalty. But there is another prong approach to loyalty, which I'll discuss apart from this. The first is obviously the hotel strives hard to look at delivering the loyalty promises of the Bonvoy occupants, Bonvoy program that Marriott runs, Marriott Bonvoy loyalty program. We also look at how we can enhance our share from the loyal members coming towards Kochi. The team is also very, very focused on ensuring that they have an emotional connect and the recall value attached, so that once a guest is won, we keep with it, and then that occupancy is definitely stays with us forever. Convert our OTAs into our own Bonvoy members program guests, so that they can get hooked to the loyalty benefits. Ensure that we definitely commit and deliver and honor all the benefits that are available to the tiered program of loyalty. So this way, when you take care of your guests, obviously the base comes across. And then the second prong of the loyalty, which I talk about, is the associate loyalty, which is an integral part of hospitality business, because coming across a familiar hotel with familiar faces is a lot of nerves. So we ensure our attrition is much below the industry standards, and that ensure that whenever a guest comes in, they find most of the familiar faces, which actually gives them an assurance that they are in safe hands. We know their preferences, so we are able to customize their experiences. So in all the probably factors available or the hooks available to improve occupancy, I think loyalty for me is the best hook that we have actually exploited, and the hotel has had reaped a lot of benefits for it. I'll keep it short and simple.
Thank you, Sachin. I think that's very insightful. And
Yes.
in terms of sharing talent, we're always welcome to share the talent that you have. But last question for Fino. Kerala is known for its vibrant culinary traditions. How does Holiday Inn Cochin incorporate authentic regional flavors into its F&B offerings to enhance the guest experience?
Thank you, Lalith. I guess before I am starting with the subject, I want to congratulate Rajesh and his team for what they've done to probably save those 144 recipes, in that 6 months of journey. It is incredible, truly amazing. Because we have done a root vegetable promotion probably a couple of months back, and I still remember actually to get a couple of ingredients. It took us weeks of search to find those ingredients because ingredients were not available in the market. Something which when I grown up I used to eat on every day, that is not available in the market, and that's where the stage has become a stage where the new generation is flying out on the first flight to Dubai or to Middle East or Europe. Saving these recipes, it matters a lot. While when I talk about my hotel, yes, I think Masala, our only dining restaurant, stands tall when it comes to safeguarding the regional cuisines of Kerala. What we do is we get chefs from various parts of Kerala because that gives authenticity, that saves the recipes. So we get those chefs from various parts of the Kerala. They come with their ingredients and they prepare the meals. And we started this trend of weekend affair, grand weekend affair. So every weekend we have one or other promotion which is going on. Like currently when I'm talking, I have a chef from Kashmir in the hotel. She's getting ready for the promotion from the last 5 days. We'll be having a weekend dinner ready in starting from today onwards. So this is we've been practicing. Whereas what we are achieving out of it, I think if NRK was a segment, the non-residential Keralas, if that was a segment, that would have been probably the biggest segment any of us would have been having in our hotel, because there are a lot of Keralites who travel back to the home state, spend a vacation and they go back. They crave for the local food. They love to try the local food. Any hotel which can bring in that authenticity, bring in those lost recipes and put it forward, there is demand for it, and that's what we are trying to do. Now, it's not that the hotel only provide the local cuisine. We also have an Italian restaurant. We have a Japanese restaurant. And we have a lounge bar which provides the global cuisine. When it comes to, I think, the overall product what we offer, I think we put a lot of focus when it comes to the regional cuisine. And that's been paid off for us on every day. Thank you.
Thank you. So I think it's been a scintillating hour that we've spent together. So I'll just share a few of my thoughts that have sort of been penning down. So firstly, thank you, Bhuvanesh. What a dynamic and enriching conversation this has been. And grateful to you on behalf of all of us on this panel for organizing this for us. Rajesh, thank you for giving us such fantastic insights on blending luxury with Kochi's cultural beauty and cultural culinary heritage. I think the mix of cultural beauty and culinary heritage is what you have been able to epitomize in what you've shared with us, and thank you for doing that. Suresh, thanks for highlighting Taj's and IHCL sustainability and international traveler engagement strategies. I think it gives us a lot of insight into what you're attempting to do and how it's going to change the entire narrative when it comes to Cochin. Dinesh, thank you for discussing the balancing act that you do between business and leisure guests at Crowne Plaza. I think with the size of inventory that you have, is no easy challenge that you have, and yet you do it so seamlessly. So thank you for sharing your insights on that. Sachin, thank you for showcasing the importance of curated guest experiences and market adaptability, which is what has become synonymous with Kochi Marriott. And finally, Fino, thank you for emphasizing the importance of blending corporate efficiency with Kerala's leisure appeal, along with curating authentic regional culinary experiences to delight both local and international guests. So thank you very much. And I think in conclusion, I'd like to say it's clear that Kerala, with its rich culture and wellness focus, continues to lead India's hospitality sector with excellence and innovation. So thank you once again, everyone, for this opportunity.
Thank you, Lalith. First of all, you've really anchored the show brilliantly. Absolutely brilliant. I don't know whether you've done this before or not. If not, it is amazing.
Well, thank you very much. And it's all the
it's been
energy of
truly heartening, truly heartening.
The energy of the war that we have as warriors. So
yes, having said that, each location has its own challenges. Kerala has its own. You see, the others need to work on pull, right? So Kerala, the pull factor is already there. There's a natural pull. So what really needs to happen over there is we need to up our game. We need to up our conversions. We need to get our F&B act together. We need to, we need to up the game. We really need to go big. Our challenges are, for instance, how do we pull in people who we are bleeding out to the Far East, to the Southeast, to the Indian Ocean countries like the Maldives, Sri Lanka, Mauritius, and what have you, right? And if somebody is best equipped to handle that, it's Kerala, right? And you all together can really get together. Look, more the merrier. Kerala, if at all, has a problem of fewer hotels than it needs, right? So the offerings need to be better. We don't need to worry about occupancy and ADR. We need to get our act right and up the game. Thank you so much, Lalith. You've been, like I said, a fantastic moderator, a fantastic anchor. Barring the little bit of time overflow, fair enough, I was so assured with the way you were handling and conducting the show. Thank you again. And yes, thank you, Rajesh. Our third show together. You're a star, right? You've been there, you've done this, you've done that. Dinesh, again, our third one together. Fino, our second one together. Yeah. And our first one with you, Suresh, Lalith, and Sachin. Thank you for being there. And before I sign off, I want to thank the team BW and BW Hotelier. They bring out shows one after the other, 4 between today and tomorrow. This is our last one today. There are 2 more coming tomorrow. Really exciting ones. And both those shows are in Chennai. Thank you all. And now the Diversey video. For me, this show has been so enjoyable, thoroughly enriching, and extremely impactful. For all the ones who have not watched, the recordings are there over bwhotelier.com, our YouTube channel, and across our social media. Of course, there are a whole lot of hoteliers who can't watch it live. They watch the recordings. You must spend time and hear each word that these general managers have spoken, each word that Lalith has spoken. He has an extremely rich portfolio of hotels that he drives in Kerala. Lalith, did you say 37 soon?
57 at the end of this calendar year.
57 by the end of this year.
That includes 8 of our brands, right across from the Taj to Ama. So we've got 57 entities that we will have at the end of this calendar year.
So handle that, right? And soon to be 100 perhaps. We'll wait for that with Puneet Chatwal doing what he's doing. He has not lifted. He does not know what the brakes and handbrakes are. His foot is naturally pressing the floor on with the accelerator. Good show, guys. Thank you again, Lalith.
Thank you.
Dinesh, Rajesh, Fino, Sachin, and Suresh. We'll catch you soon again. We'll do a special when I'm there in Kerala. May my master bless you all. God bless you.
Thank you very much.